Out here, where the land stretches so far it feels like the sky might fall into it, where time slows and the wind writes its own stories in the tall grass, something quiet is rising. Not a monument, not a mansion, but a home, rooted, grounded, and still. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. A barndominium, yes, but not one shaped by trends or noise. This one is shaped by silence, by space, by the soft language of the prairie itself. It doesn't compete with the land. It listens. It leans low, stretched wide, as if trying to touch every horizon at once, as if trying to become part of the land instead of sitting on top of it. No sharp corners shouting for attention. No glass towers begging to be seen. Just gentle lines, warm materials, and a rhythm that feels like it was always here, just waiting for someone to live in tune with it. So let's begin here, in this place between sky and soil, and discover what it really means to build something that belongs. Because out on the prairie, home isn't made by walls. It's made by how you listen. They say the prairie has no walls, only horizons. And in that spirit, Prairie Style Design was born, not from blueprints, but from a desire to belong. Frank Lloyd Wright didn't invent a look. He revealed a feeling that architecture could grow from the earth, not be dropped onto it. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. So when you see a Prairie Style Barndominium, you're not just seeing a house. You're seeing restraint, stillness, respect. The roof doesn't climb toward the sky. It stretches as if trying to embrace the land before it. Lines run long and low, mirroring the lay of the field, the sweep of a breeze across the grass. Everything feels connected. The way morning light spills through a wide window, the way shadows fall in perfect rhythm across wooden beams. This isn't form chasing function. This is form chasing the moment. It's a home that doesn't need to be loud, because the land already speaks, and if you listen carefully, you'll hear it. In the slope of the roof, in the depth of the eaves, in every quiet decision to let the earth lead the way. Step inside, and everything slows. There are no glimmering chandeliers, no marble floors shouting for attention, just the hush of aged wood underfoot, warm to the touch, as if it remembers every step before yours. The walls aren't decorated, they're familiar, paneled in grain that carries time. Painted in tones that don't try to impress. They simply belong. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. Each room unfolds gently, stretching outward like a breath held just a little longer. Not trying to rise, just trying to open. There's a softness here that can't be bought, a kind of quiet honesty in every corner, every beam, every breeze that drifts through the open window, because the windows don't just frame a view, they frame moments. Sunlight spilling across a breakfast table, rain tapping gently on glass while you curl up nearby, a child's laughter echoing down a hallway that was built not just to contain life, but to witness it. This isn't a space made to impress strangers. It's made to hold memories, to gather them gently and keep them safe, like pages in a book you return to again and again. Every prairie barndominium begins the same way, with a pause. Before pencil meets paper, before foundation touches soil, there's a question whispered into the wind. What does the land want? Not what we can take from it. Not how much we can build, but how much we can honor. So the design doesn't push. It follows. The floor plan opens wide, not tall, mirroring the endless stretch of the plains. The materials? drawn from the palette beneath your feet. Clay, timber, earth-toned stone, all speaking the same quiet language as the prairie itself. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos, and let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. Overhangs extend gently, not to block the sun, but to shape its light, casting shadows that move like time itself. Pathways curve with the contours of the land. Rooms open to where the breeze wants to go. Nothing feels forced, everything feels found. Because in this kind of home, you don't build on the land, you build with it. And that's the difference between control and connection, between making something big and making something true. Step outside, and the noise doesn't follow you. There are no fountains spraying in patterns, no perfect rows of hedges trimmed into shape. Instead, there's stillness, a kind of peace that doesn't ask to be seen. It simply waits to be felt. Maybe it's a porch, wide and wooden, that wraps around like an open arm. Maybe it's a fire pit, low and quiet, where stories are told in whispers beneath the stars. Or maybe it's just a single chair facing west, waiting for someone to sit and watch the day fade. Because here, beauty doesn't arrive in bursts. It arrives slowly. In the way the tall grass leans with the breeze, in the way shadows grow long and golden, in the way the sky falls into itself night after night after night. This is where the drama lives, not in spectacle, but in surrender. And somehow, the more you sit in it, the more you let the silence wrap around you, the more you realize you don't need more. You just need this, the space to be small beneath something so endlessly wide. We live in a world of wanting, bigger houses, louder colors, statements that stretch higher and scream for attention, but Prairie Style asks something radical. It asks us to step back, to quiet down, to need less, because not every home needs to rise like a monument. Some can sink softly into the land, like a breath that's been held too long, finally let go. This kind of home doesn't boast, it doesn't compete, it doesn't try to prove anything, it just is, a long roof line, an open floor, a palette that speaks in whispers, not shouts, and suddenly you feel it. The tension leaves, the clutter disappears, there's space. Not just physical space, but space for your life to unfold. Space for quiet mornings, space for memory to gather, space for time to slow, without asking your permission. And in that simplicity, something beautiful happens. You realize the home isn't the main character, you are. That's the twist. In chasing less, you find more presence, more calm, more truth. Maybe the future of home design isn't about leaving your mark on the land. Maybe it's about making just enough room for the land to leave its mark on you. If something in this spoke to you, not loudly, but quietly, then maybe, just maybe, this way of living was meant for you too. Because this isn't just about floor plans or finishes or square footage, it's about breath. It's about building a life that leaves room to breathe, to be still, to feel whole. A Prairie Style Barndominium isn't for everyone, but for the ones who hear the hush in the wind, who feel steadiness in the soil, who want less so they can live more, it feels like coming home. So if you've been chasing peace or looking for a way to design not just a space, but a sanctuary, you're in the right place. Take your time here, explore, wander. Let your mind walk the open rooms and wide fields with us. Because we're not just sharing designs, we're sharing ways of living, ones rooted in stillness, presence, and quiet joy. And if you feel that call, subtle as a breeze across the grass, then subscribe. Stay a while. There's more to see, more to feel, more stories to unfold. Who knows? Maybe the prairie is waiting for you too. And it's been quiet only because it knew You'd hear it when you were ready.